Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So today I've got a guide on how to do the new Vampire Slayer for each and every single one of the tiers from T1 to T5. So let's begin. First of all, and if you actually do want to do some damage, I do recommend having all of the effigies killed, as you can see on the middle right of my screen. Here are the locations for all the effigies. So you got effigy 1, which is right here, which I am actually going to restart for myself. 1, 2, 3. I'll go do effigies right here. There is also a second effigy right here, which is kind of hiding, but it's here. Now, effigy 3, 4, 5, 6, they are a little bit difficult to get to. So what I recommend to get effigy 3 is come up here, do this, come all the way up here, teleport over there, and you'll break it, which is in this little tower right here. Effigy 5 is right over here. So land, and right here. We have effigy number 6, which is right here in the corner. Oh, no, sorry, effigy 4. Sorry, not 6. Effigy 5 is right there, as you can see, which is right behind this little corner. Right behind effigy 3. And effigy 6 is all the way up here at the top of the castle, or the Stilgore Chateau, and you break it like this. 1, 2, 3. And you get rift damage. So as you can see, with all 6 killed, you get 12 rift damage. Now to get into each boss, what I recommend for these bosses, and when to go into, for T1, I do recommend having a few items. For the helmet to start off, I recommend using the used Transfigur's face, which you get from doing the Seraphine quest in the Rift Dimension in the little town. Now for the chestplate, you can either do the orange chestplate, which I highly recommend because of the mana regen, or you can use the Mirrorverse chestplate, which I'm not gonna try and pronounce it. It's actually just called the Iron Chestplate, but backwards, and it requires 7 stacks of half-eaten carrots, which you can obtain from the place with the rabbits. Now for leggings, I do recommend using the femur growth leggings, which you obtain from killing Bacte once, and using the chicken leggings with 8 Volcrux and 8 Shadow Crux. And for leggings, I recommend using Snake in a Boot, which is crafted with utility comfy sneakers, and 15 living metal hearts, which you get from the living cave. For weapons, all I recommend using is the pickaxe, the self-recursive pickaxe, which you need the leech sword, 24 wilted berberis, and 6 nullified metal from the thing, or you could, of course, use the tactician's murder weapon, or I don't know why I chose the recipe twice, but I recommend using that for a weapon. Now, for any of the tiers, I do recommend you having a melon, which is very easy to obtain. All you need is 10 vampiric melon, which you get from killing these fletchlings. So if I kill one real quick, you get 1 per, and you also get this hemovibe, which is actually required for the collection. Now to even start Vampire Slayer, you will have to talk to Maddox and give him and show that you have crafted one of these healing melons, and you will gain access to his menu, which stays like something like this. When you get in, you'll have the option to spawn a T1, and that's begin. Now when you do spawn, I do recommend spawning it somewhere close inside the castle, or in my case, I'm gonna actually spawn it in here. So, now, I'm not going to be using the Weirder Tuber for this, because it's just cheating. Now, when you spawn the boss, don't worry. All you have to do is currently, right now, hit it. So just hit it. Once it's spectral, it just swaps around, and you use that. Mania, it's pretty simple enough. Just walk around to where it shows green. If you are in the red or the gray, you will die. Or, in my case, take damage. So, come over here. If you do end up taking damage, you can use your melon to heal yourself. Pretty simple enough, just walk around here for as long as the mania lasts. Come over. Stay in. And this phase, just continue hitting. And Boom. You've done your first T1, which is pretty easy out of the 5 tiers. From here on out, I do have a texture pack, so as you can see, some of my items are custom textured. If you want to know what the texture pack is, it'll be in the description, but that's pretty much it. So let's go on to the tiers. Tier 2 is pretty much the same, just with more HP, but I'm still going to show you how to do the boss from T1 as well, because it's pretty much the same, but a little bit more difficult. Alright, I'm close to spawning now, so I will kill something, and I will show you the process of this tier. Like other tiers, just continue to hit it until it reaches into its phase. So continue to hit it. Spectral, it'll just teleport away. It'll do this. You can use your Holy Ice for that, but it's a tier 2, you don't really do that. And for this, you just do the same as T1. Continue to walk around into the squares. And if you get low, you can use your melon. You won't heal as much as I do because I have the highest tier, but you can continue to do this. So just continue to walk around. Twin Claws will activate, use your Holy Ice. I missed that one, but you can do it faster. Kill the things here if you need to. Holy Ice. Kill. You don't really need to heal during this phase, but now for this, stand here until you hear that ding sound and walk out. And I'm just gonna make it faster by using the steak, which I'll show you for T3. For tier 3, you're gonna need some items. First of all, I'd recommend upgrading your juicy healing melon, which requires Vampire Slayer 2, which is incredibly easy to get. So I'm gonna stop my quest real quick. So you gotta a level Slayer 1, I'd recommend getting the silver laced Karambit, which requires 12 silver fangs, 12 covenant seals, which you get from slaying the boss, and the pickaxe, which is self-explanatory. The anti-bite scarf, which isn't really much, but it gives you health, more rift time, and of course 20 intel, but it also has the ability of regain 2 time when killing a mob, but you also gain, if you would take heart damage, take 0.3 hearts less, and you get the Holy Ice, which you will need for T3. For this, you just need 80 frozen water and 16 coven seals. T2, you do get more rift time, which is actually kind of useful, but you do get the steak, juicy healing melon, and the Maddox bad phone, which I do require, which isn't really something you need, but is nice to have. The melon you might need for this tier, but isn't really needed. And then the steak you will need because it actually does hurt the vampire. I'm gonna quickly go ahead and spawn it, and I'll show you how to do the T3. Alright, so now I'm close to spawning, so I will show you. Now, for this, I'm not gonna use the Weirdo Tuba. Well, actually, I am, so I do more damage, but for this, it's pretty much the same, just a little more difficult and more attacks. So, continue to do this. Spectral, it'll teleport around. Twin Claws, just be more on point, and you will need to Holy Ice for this. Now, in Mania phase, now it becomes a little more difficult. Now it has impels on the screen, which, as you can see, will happen. All you need to do is just do what it says. So, for this, you'll need to click down, sneak, I hope I'll get it, jump, and then, of course, maybe click up. No, sneak. There is another one that is called click up, which is pretty simple enough. You need to click up. So you just have to do those, which happens every now and then in that phase, but so I will just continue to kill. Stone Wrath, sorry, it will go up into the sky. Stay here. Once you hear the ding, move away. I usually heal during that phase. So Twin Claws. Continue to hit. And now it's immune. Now it goes into second Mania phase. Oh, there you go. Click up. And don't worry if you fail this, you won't take that much damage. In this tier, at least. As you can see, I do use my melon a lot, so I do recommend using that. I also have a mod that makes everything bigger and more easier for me to read. Sorry. Sorry. So do be warned about that. And of course, at 300 HP, you can stake it, and there you go. You've done a T3. Now, this is when stuff gets a little difficult. T4. What I recommend at this point is going in here, and I get the Leggings of the Coven, which requires 24 living metal hearts, Leggings of the Pack, and a blood badge, which is this recipe. So you need 2 Backday fragments, 2 Leech Supreme fragments, a stack of Coven seals, and 2 Crux motion, which is just 2 of every Crux. Well, each Crux motion is 1 of every Crux. So just do that. And if don't get the Vampiric Chime Charm yet, I got that when I was level 5. So that's pretty much all you need to do for this tier yet. Now for this tier, I do recommend having most of the Enigma Souls and all Montezuma Souls for the biggest advantage, and a pretty decent amount of mana regen. Something like what I have, 113, would be higher if someone was with me with a Friendship is Power ability on the Legs of the Coven, but that is for that so far. So let me go ahead and spawn it, and I will show you how to do this tier. So now I'm close to spawning, so now I will go ahead and kill this Thrall. And now I'm going to have to do this while talking, which is by itself. So, I have very little time to do this, but I continue to kill. My mod's not working. Thank you, Hypixel, or Skytels. So it's pretty much just the same as the other tiers. Twin Clasp activates. And then in this phase, there is more impels, so you do need to pay more attention. There we go. Do this. Sneak. Twin Claws. Sneak. So with this tier, you need to pay attention. And also with click up and click down, I do recommend actually clicking twice in this tier, as failing it does deal a decent amount of damage. So I do recommend doing that. I also have another person helping me, which I actually don't want for this. But there is an impel there. Twin Claw. I missed. And as you can see, it does deal a lot of damage. 6 hearts. So 1000 HP, I'll do this. Time the impel. Or not the impel, beat that. Continue to do this. There is a thing, 2 things. Ah, damn. Alright. Makes this boss more harder, but it's fine. Continue to do the impel as well as the mania during this tier. And there you go. And it's pretty much the same clotting, just kill the mobs and Twin Claws. Now for this, all you have to do is left and right click. As you see, I failed an impel, and kill, and I wasn't expecting that. For those who don't know, the vampire part is actually the main RNG from the Slayer. So I guess I have some grinding to do later, after I record this video. But that is the T4 of the Blood Fiend Slayer boss. Now, to do the T5. Now, before I actually start to spawn and start to kill, I do have to tell you some things. First of all, I do recommend getting the orange chestplate, which pretty much is required for this tier. Or if you really, really need to, the Lively Sepulchre chestplate, which you get at Vampire Slayer level 5. I also do recommend getting the Silver Twist Karambit, which requires the Silver Laced Karambit, a Blood Badge, and 64 Silver Fangs. It's not the cheapest recipe, but... Then I also really recommend getting the highest healing melon. I do recommend having a Weirder Tuba or Weird Tuba going into this. I also do recommend having all Enigma Soul upgrades, Montezuma Souls, and the 7 out of 8 Time Charms if you're trying to solo this. I also do recommend getting the Mythic Anti-Bug Starts, which is just a better Scarf, which requires a Scarf Studies and 2 Blood Badges. Just gives a lot of time and more intelligence, which is actually useful for this tier. And I also do recommend having a non-laggy lobby, as well. You're gonna need it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and spawn, and I'll see you guys when I do. Alright, now that I'm actually starting to spawn this, I do have some things to tell you. It is incredibly hard to solo, and I might not even do this. So what you definitely require is definitely all of your mana going into the boss. So now I'm going to use 2 by now, and I'm going to spawn it. And I'm going to try and talk while trying to do this. Whew. Alright, so now just spawn. Do not... Now some things is this. When Twin Claw starts, have the Twin Claw hit the Chalice. Now I'm going to continue to do this. Mania, something to tell. Do not miss an Impel or a Twin Claw, because you will die. It does like 20 hearts or something. As you can tell, there are a lot more Impels than there is on T4, because it is a lot harder to do. As you can see, my mana is also draining. Okay, there you go. An Iker. Wait for Twin Claws. Wait for it to smash. Here's an Impel. I'm gonna heal. There's an Iker. Oh no, I think when it spawns, when it comes down. Oh, I don't want the server to lag like that. Oh, there's an Iker. There we go. Don't worry, it's a 20% chance for a Iker to spawn in any tier, in any phase. So do be on. Okay. Twin Claws you can live, but it's very rare, like in that situation. But alright. Oh wait. My God. I have no idea if that'll break it. It doesn't. Okay. Oh, I missed. Oh no. Oh. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try again and I'll cut back. Actually, I'm not gonna try. So that's pretty much the entire guide on how to do the new and improved Vampire Slayer. Pretty much about the same. All you do is use the stake once that is at 1000 HP. And it's pretty much the same, just more difficult. And with the Iker attack and more manias. But I'm actually surprised I almost managed to solo that. But anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.